Let's do this. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. If you're joining us from Europe, I see a few names here that are coming from our customers in Europe. So very happy to be with you today. Today is a special webinar. We are really excited to um, reveal to you Concord Horizon, which is a new version of Concord that we've been working on for quite a while. Let's just jump in directly. So first of all, maybe a quick round of introduction. You may already know some of us if you joined some of these webinar calls, but I'm Matt. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Concord, and I'm joining you right now from our office in Austin, Texas. Blake is also there. Blake, Zach, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, I'm Zach Kinsey, head of sales here at Concord. I've been with Concord for about 10 years now and based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Happy to be here today.
Yeah. And I'm Blake. I'm a customer success manager with the team. So I'm excited to present you guys this new opportunity to engage and, superpower your contract management.
All right, so let's talk about what is on the menu today. First of all, we're going to tell you a little bit more about Horizon, why we built it, and what it does. This is going to be very short because I think the main thing that you came here for today is to actually see what it looks like. So we'll spend most of the time today just demoing to you Horizon, its new features, its new approach. We'll also, after this, talk about what's coming next. There's a lot of new features that are also coming in the next few weeks, next few months. So we'll tell you more about this. And then we'll also tell you how to get access to Concord Horizon. We will also take questions at the end, so do not hesitate to ask them as we present during the demonstration. If we can take a few questions at that time, we will, and definitely we'll save time toward the end for your questions. All right, let's jump in. So Horizon, what is it? We basically have rebuilt entirely Concord from the ground up. So Concord Horizon is basically a brand new platform. It's AI native. And we decided to do a complete rewrite of the platform for the new era that we have today based on AI. This is very important because we decided not to try to add layers of AI on legacy technology. I think everyone knows today how AI has been transformative for absolutely everything when it comes to software in particular, especially contract management. And so we really decided about a year and a half ago now to start reworking entirely Concord and rebuild everything to be AI native. This is key because otherwise we would have been limited very quickly. You can add some layers on legacy tech, but then you're going to get blocked at some point. And so we decided to make the effort to rebuild everything. And I think for you, what it means for our existing customers in particular is that you kind of get both worlds. We've been doing contract management at Concord for 10 years. So we've learned a lot from what works, what doesn't. We made mistakes, and we've been able to learn from all of this. And so now we're able to take these 10 years of experience and use modern technology to be able to bring that new version of Concord called Horizon. So that's what we built. We've been working on this for, as I mentioned, about a year and a half. So it took a lot of time to get there. We had to rebuild basically 10 years of work. But so we are finally at the finish line. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So quick overview of what we are going to show you today in terms of the new features for Horizon. So first of all, we're going to show you the new experience of Horizon. We basically, as I mentioned, rebuilt the platform, we rebuilt the interface in particular to have something that is more customizable, more modern, more powerful. There's a lot of new options that you're going to discover in your classic inbox, deadline, etc. experience. So we're going to start with this to just give you a little bit of an idea of how Concord has been changing on the interface that you know. And then we will talk about the new features that have been added to Horizon, in particular the AI Copilot that will be now present across the entire platform, brand new AI search, and what is called an MCP for Model Context Protocol, which is basically the ability for you to work directly in ChatGPT or in Claude and directly ask Concord about your documents. So we'll get into the details of all of this. Yeah, so that's basically the plan for the demo today. A quick word that I want to mention since we're going to talk about AI. I know this is something that is really important for all of you, and it should. But when it comes to AI, we have, as of today, something that compared to the feature we already have with AI today on Concord, we have a zero data retention policy with our AI partners. Your data is never used to train any AI models. So I just want to state that right away. If you have more questions about our policies here, please contact us and we can send you proper documents to explain exactly how we handle your data. But once again, your data is never used to train any AI models. That's it for my intro. Let's just jump in directly. Zach, you want to lead a little bit the demo? So first thing, we're going to talk about the new interface. Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of new things here. I'm going to be talking them through in the demo itself, but as you can see, we've got some new modes. We have a light dark mode, full screen. Actually, I don't want to bury the lead, so let's just jump right in, shall we? So here it is, Concord 2.0. This is our new AI-powered interface. As you can see, the first thing that you're going to land on now in Concord is our AI Copilot. With the AI Copilot, you can do many things. You can have it review documents, you can have it create reports, you can ask questions about your database. We're going to come back to this a little bit later. I actually first want to start with something that you're probably more familiar with, which is our contract inbox view. So here it is. This is our brand new contract inbox. One thing to mention, as you can see, everything, all of the same buttons are in the same places. So it actually should be quite familiar to all of you that are using Concord today. You don't need to relearn anything. Everything is actually still here. You can come in and pick it up and start using it right away. This is a complete redesign. It's a complete refresh of everything. We have all new colors. We have the colors I think are much more modern. They're much easier on the eyes. It's very visually appealing, I think. You know, it's easy for me to take a look at it. And speaking of colors, there's one thing that I'm very excited about. For the first time ever in Concord, we actually have our new dark mode. So for those of you that prefer to use dark mode on your computer, like myself, you can actually use Concord in dark mode as well, which I think is a huge improvement, a huge advancement for us dark mode users. I'm going to switch back to light mode just for the demo for today. Another thing that you'll notice is we have this new full screen mode. So I can actually go full screen to see all the data that I want to see here in my table. But if I want to be able to pin that sidebar, kind of what you're used to in your current Concord account, you can do that here in the system as well. So I do have that pin option. But let's go ahead and just focus on the table now, because there's a lot of advancements, a lot of things that we've done to really improve this experience in the table view. I'm going to start over here in our new column selector. So now you can come in and it's just much easier to see which columns are available. The other advancement that we have made is to, well, first of all, you can, of course, choose whichever columns you want to add here, and you can select or deselect. We've also added pretty much every field type that's in Concord into the column view here. So if you wanted to add in your smart fields, your custom properties, even your custom fields, you can now select those and add them as columns here directly in the inbox view. Next, we have our filters. We've added the ability to create actually multiple layers of filters in the system, where before with Concord, you could really just have one layer. So with this, you can come in and let's say that I want to filter by a few different things. I'm going to go ahead and filter by the created date of this document. So I want to look at all documents that were created between, let's say, January 1st, because I want to look at everything this year up until today. So that's my first filter. I now also want to take a look at all of my documents that have a total contract value over a certain amount. And we've actually added a number of different options here as well. So we have our currency selector. We also have our different options. Right now it's set on equals, but I can also do in range, blank, currencies, less than or greater than. So in this case, I want to look at all of my documents created this year that are greater than $10,000. And as you can see, it's going to filter down and pull those results for me. And I could continue to add additional layers of filters if I wanted to. One really cool thing I like about this UI as well is we have these different dots here, and you can actually tell which of the columns are being filtered based on the dots that are highlighted here. So that's our new filters in the system and our new column selector as well. Very easy to get to those here in the system. One other thing I want to highlight in the inbox view here is within the columns themselves, we have a lot of different options. And this actually may be my favorite thing that's in this new inbox right here, and I'll get to that in a second. But you can get to sort ascending and sort descending. So if you want to sort just like you could do before, you can do that very easily here. The one that I really love is the ability to pin your column. So if I want to pin this column to the left and then do a scroll from left to right or up and down, I can easily do that now within the inbox view. So that really just gives you the ability to kind of see the data that you're wanting to see right within your inbox view there. The other thing that you can do is you can automatically auto size columns now. So if you wanted to auto size a specific column to kind of have that come into the right size, you can do that. Or you can even auto size all columns so that it's going to clean up that view for you directly from that column. And then last of all, we have the column selector, which is available here as well. So lots of different customization options from directly in the table itself to be able to kind of set everything up here. Now, one thing that's really cool about this is we have not only made these changes to the inbox, we have also applied these changes to the other views in the system, our deadlines view, our task view. So when I come into one of those other views in Concord 2.0, I can now see the same thing. I can pin columns, I can auto size, I can sort, I can do all those things directly here within this view as well. And I still have my same column and filter selector. Now, I'm sure you're all loving what you're seeing here. It's an amazing redesign. I love everything about this. But if you did ever want to switch back to the classic experience, you do have the ability to do that directly from your inbox here as well. So you can come down here and switch between them. Matt, there's a lot of exciting changes here. Anything you want to add? Any comments you have?
No, I think you did a good recap. I think what's really important, once again, is what we try to do here is one, to give you just more options with your data. So now you can really filter on everything. We added new columns, we added new way to filters, range, et cetera, et cetera. And this is available everywhere, as Zach mentioned. So your reports, same thing, it's available there too. And so this way, everything works exactly the same way. You don't have to understand different pages because they work differently. It's all the same everywhere. And something maybe also to mention is because we rebuilt everything with more modern frameworks, it means that also it's way more responsive. So you should see a big improvement in terms of speed when you load the different pages. And so that's what's going to give you a smoother experience on Concord.
And some things I would add too. I'm really excited about Horizon because it's giving us the opportunity to kind of build all the feedback that I'm getting from customers. We're having the opportunity with new technology and better tools, right, to add new things. I think also, Matt, to your point, it's like with everything, with a lot of things that are staying the same, you're not repopulating Horizon with new data either. As soon as you get Horizon, all of that data will already be there. So you already have that to utilize. But one quick call out actually that's one of my most favorite things that I know a lot of customers have experienced is on like new exports. You may not be able to show it here, right? Because we'd have to go right into another frame. But if you guys are familiar with our exports that we have, right, it's this very wide column with all of your data. But what I love about Concord Horizon is that the exports that we have now, if you only are seeing three columns, let's say document, stage, and annual value, those exports will only have those relevant columns. So my overall point here is that this is an amazing opportunity for existing customers and CSMs to really take your feedback and build some exciting things. So there's going to be a lot of sneaky kind of hidden features like that that we're really excited to share with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I kind of not skipped over, but I failed to mention was the folders are the exact same structure. I actually love the new folder structure because it's cleaner. It's easier to tell which folder you're on and which folders have subfolders. So that's another thing I love. You'll also see this recent documents view, which is another new thing where you can kind of see the recent things that you're working on in the system. So there's a lot here. Very excited to get everyone in there and have you start testing it out. So absolutely. All right, well, should we move to the next thing here? If we're done there, I'm going to go ahead and move into our AI Copilot. We've talked a little bit about this, Matt. I don't know if you have any comments before we jump in.
No, I mean, this is probably we show you the UIs to get you familiar with the new interface. But as you have seen, it is exactly the same. Nothing has changed. We changed the color, we added options, but the data is the same. So you shouldn't have to relearn the system. And once again, you can always go back if you decide to upgrade to Horizon. You can always go back to the classic experience at any point. So that's the one thing. Now, let's talk about the real thing about Horizon, because redesign and nice small features around table is quality of life. This is where really the things start to change. And so AI Copilot at the center of Horizon. That's why we rebuilt everything from the ground up to make this work. And so let's dive.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to jump back into Concord here, and I now have the option to create a new chat. So I'm going to do that directly here in the system. And I'm going to give this a prompt. I've learned from my webinars, me typing live for everyone is not ideal. So I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to go ahead and have the system create a report for all contracts with amounts over $100,000. So that is the prompt I'm giving it. And now we're going to let Copilot go to work. And so Copilot is going to generate a report for me, as you can see, and I can also preview the report here on the right side. And so what this has done is actually pulled up a list of all of my documents. I also have the filters here, which is pretty cool. I can see that it's filtering right now by the stage assigned, and the total value has automatically been filtered down to greater than 100,000, which is the prompt that I gave the AI or the Copilot. So it's pretty amazing, pretty powerful, right? Like you're able to search through all your documents that quickly and get your response directly here in the system. We do also have the report here. So if I wanted to click into the actual report in the system that it's now created, I can do that as well. I can save this report, I can export it, I can filter down, do lots of different things with it. So it's pretty powerful. I mean, just that alone is, I think, pretty amazing. But let's move on to another use case here. So we found a report there. I also want to have the Copilot do the next thing for me, which is find all contracts that contain an auto renewal clause in them. Or maybe they don't have an auto renewal clause, right? I want to see if there are any. So that's what we're going to ask it. Great. Perfect. So it's gone ahead and pulled back that list for me here. And it's going to show me, hey, these are the contracts that have these auto renewal clauses. And of course, I could come back and continue to ask it questions and prompt it. It works very much like a ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. You have that directly inside of Concord. Now let's try one other use case here. I'm going to go ahead and have it show me. Let me pull this over. Show me all contracts that contain a termination for convenience clause, for example. So if you can think about your contract database, maybe you just walked into a company. I'm saying this because I talk to these people every day. You just walked into a company and, hey, I don't know what's in these contracts, right? You've got contracts all over the place. Just imagine uploading all those into Concord. We OCR them, and then our AI goes to work to be able to tell you exactly what's in those agreements. So you can literally now have access to just ask any question you want, and it's going to pull back that information for you. As this is working, Matt, you got any thoughts on this, or you want to add any insights?
No, I mean, what you're showing, I think it speaks for itself. I see your questions about, maybe we can address this one quickly, about does it work with any contracts that are on Concord, or do they need to have a specific field or smart fields? Well, it basically works with any contract today that is on Concord. As you upgrade to Horizon, we'll be able to run the AI on all the documents. However, I think it's really about the ability to do smart fields, etc. It's going to depend a little bit about the type of data you will want to see. In particular, if you want specific reports, we do recommend that you use smart fields, etc. And I will tell you more later on about this, about what's coming next, which I think is going to be very interesting for a lot of you.
Awesome. Great. So that's a quick introduction to our new Copilot that's built into the system. There's many use cases for it. Like I said, we won't have time today to show you everything, but this should give you some ideas and hopefully, get you thinking about ways that you could use this with your own contracts in your own database. Let's go ahead and
just a few words on this. So just once again, you have to picture this as using Microsoft Copilot, using ChatGPT, etc. So whenever you can ask an AI, typically you can probably ask Concord too. And so we've covered a lot of use cases with the current version. I'm sure there might be some very specific things that some of you might try that might not necessarily work yet. I want to be very clear. But the good news, it's very easy for us to add this. So as you start using Horizon, if you have very specific use case, please share them with us because we'll be able to address them. But just quickly on the interface here, this is a chat experience. Like on ChatGPT and other systems, you have all the history. You can go back to your chats. So you're really going to be able to work exactly like you'd be probably using other systems today. So see this really as the power of ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot directly within Concord.
Absolutely. I think there is one good question here, Matt, that we may want to address. The question is, what is the underlying AI, and do we have a zero attention data policy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned this earlier, but so zero data retention policy with our AI vendors. So your data is never used to train any of their models. Today, the technology behind this is ChatGPT. And so this is what we're focusing on right now. Next year, we do plan on letting our users choose the type of AI they want to use. I know some companies, for instance, have internal policies about only being able to use Microsoft Copilot, for instance, and we'll be adding these options in the future next year. So probably I would say, to be honest, more around Q2 or Q3 next year. Right now, we just want to make sure that we have something that works extremely well, ChatGPT based, and in the future, we'll be able to let you actually pick the AI that you want to use on Concord.
And a quick differentiation too for one of the questions. If you're paying for Horizon, you're paying for this. So you don't have to have a ChatGPT license. You don't have to have a Microsoft Copilot license to answer that last question in the chat for the school district.
Yeah, there's a question around if it will save the memories like the history, or maybe it's referring to the memory, but the history is here, so you can come back and look at your previous chats. I guess that's a good question, Matt. They're asking about memory mode. Is this learning?
So there's several things, yeah. So you can go back to a discussion and continue the conversation. You might be referring here to memory, which is the ability for the AI to also remember past conversations. That is not the case today, but this is an evolution we plan on adding to Concord.
Excellent. All right, given the time, I think we can move on to the next thing here. So I'm going to jump back into our slides and talk about AI search. Matt, anything you want to add about this before we jump in?
No, let's. I see a lot of very good questions, so we'll try to answer some of them at the end regarding Copilot. And if we cannot answer everything, we'll make sure to reply to you offline.
I'm laughing because we said before the webinar, we're going to get a lot of questions, I bet. So thank you for all the questions and keep them coming. We'll definitely try to get to everything today. So keep them coming. Let's talk about the search, actually. Before I jump in, let's talk about it real quick. So we have completely overhauled the search in Concord. We have an all new search experience. This is not just going to be the text search that we had before with our old platform. This is an actual AI powered search. So you can do lots of things with it. Let's just jump in and I will show you more as I give you a quick demo here. Let's get back to my inbox view. And so with the search, there's a few different ways to actually engage in the search. I can come up here to a new chat, and within the chat box, I can click on this plus button and I can enable the search. So once I turn on that search, I'm now able to search just like I would do in a normal search. The other cool thing is I can come into my doc view and I can do the same thing from here. So you've got the same options: search, create documents, attach, etc. If I turn off the search, then it's just my Copilot. So this prompt box is really going to work with you throughout the system and be a place where you can take multiple actions on it, which I think is really cool. Now let's show you a couple different search options. Number one, I do have like a simple, hey, I want to look for contracts that have the language in them indemnity clause. So kind of like a straight text search like we did before, you still have the ability to do that in Concord today, and it's going to find contracts that contain that verbiage in them. But let's say that I want to actually get a little bit more intense and I want to do something more semantic, ask a question, like find contracts that allow early exit even if the phrase varies. So it's going to go search through my documents and pull up those documents here. I actually took a lot of time this week to test this. I did search results. I went into the contracts. I actually use our OCR to find, hey, where's that language in this agreement, or is that language in this agreement? And it was there. It works actually quite well, and it does a really good job to find those results. The other really powerful thing about this, for those of you that have been using Concord for a long time, for those of you that don't know, we have customers who have been using Concord for 10 plus years now. So there's some people who are really expert in our solution. For those of you, you're noticing I'm searching in the inbox, right? And all of my results are actually pulling back here, meaning that all of the same like filter views and everything that we were showing you before, that I was showing you before, are also going to be available with your search results. So we're no longer in that separate window where you're kind of limited on what you can do with the results. You're just here in the inbox view. So you can come in and filter, you can add columns, you can move things around, you can save results. So there's a lot you can do directly from that search. And I think that's really, to me, one of the most powerful parts of this is not only being able to search better and find the information you need faster, but also being able to do more with the results themselves. So I'm very excited about the search. Matt, you want to add some color here, or Blake?
No, I just know that that's a huge one. Like you were saying, for the customers that have been using it, like it's all for me, it's all about like the big, powerful tools while also the really small things that are just making life so much easier. I'm just so excited to be able to tell all of my customers about it. Yeah, so I'm glad you covered it, Zach.
Awesome.
Maybe we can answer a quick question. I see, how do you save your search result? Basically, you can save any view on your inbox. You have the little save button over there on the right, and so you'll be able to save things as a report, and that will save your search at that point.
Absolutely. Awesome. Let's get to the next thing here, which is our MCP. And I'm going to let Matt kind of give you some background because he's the expert. I'm not the expert.
That's nice of you. All right, so I don't know how many of you are familiar with MCP technology. So MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. This is a brand new technology that was literally launched now a year ago by Anthropic, which is the company behind Claude, the AI chat. And basically what MCP is, picture this as the USB key for AI. For people that are in this webinar that have been old enough to remember when we had different type of plugs for everything or for your computer, it was a nightmare, nothing was working, and then USB showed up and you can just plug and it works. That's basically what MCP is. It's the ability for any AI chat, so think ChatGPT, Claude, Microsoft Copilot, Perplexity, whatever you use. It's the ability for this system to be plugged automatically to another system, like Concord in this example. And it is literally a one-click activation. You have to give your credentials, etc. And then what it means is that you're going to be able to directly ask within ChatGPT or Claude questions about your contracts that are on Concord. And your AI agent is going to be able to ask Concord about these contracts and get you the results. That's basically what MCP is. Let's just dive into the demo and I'll give you a few more elements about this after.
Awesome. So for the demo today, I'm going to be using Claude. So I'm here in Claude, and one thing that you'll notice for those of you that are Claude users or use other LLM tools, I do have Concord here connected. So right now I'm on my demo account, but I have Concord connected directly here. So all I need to do is simply take a question, which I'm going to copy and paste. Give me just a second here. And I'm going to put that directly into my prompt box and ask the questions directly here. And so this is connected into my Concord account using our MCP server. And the connection honestly is not very complicated. I had to reset mine up. I had to kind of like re-engage it yesterday because I was on a different account and it took a couple minutes to set it up.
Maybe quickly on this, it's literally just one click. Basically, we use a protocol called OAuth 2.1, which is the most secure way to connect an app to another app, basically. So we use the latest security protocol on this. Think about it, when you give access to an app to your Google account or things like this, it's literally just one click, confirm, set up your credentials, and that's it. It's extremely secure. Same thing when it comes to this. We're happy to share you more information about how it works. But security when it comes to MCP is an important part, and this is something that we address from the beginning.
And to that as well, I know a lot of admins are probably on the call and they're thinking, oh gosh, is this grant, if I don't want my general users to have access to all of my documents. So in the same, thing as kind of Matt was saying, right, we're going to protect that access that you have worked so hard to create and in your environment, right? So it's not going to grant access immediately to contracts that people shouldn't see.
Yes, for an MCP, you can only ask questions about the contracts you have access to, period. And we'll also have options for admins to make sure that if you don't want someone to use an MCP server, you'll be able to block that. So you have full control over this. You decide who can access what. And once again, you can only ask questions about the contracts you have access to, nothing else. But let's maybe describe a little bit what's going on right now. So basically the way it works, the MCP is being connected between Claude and Concord. And the AI is going to basically just ask Concord, okay, this is what I'm looking for. And the AI will be able to figure out basically what to ask Concord. And so we give different tools to the AI, and the AI kind of decides what it needs based on the prompt that you've done. And what's exciting is the AI, if something doesn't work, the AI will retry a different way until it can figure out the right answer for you. And so that's why we can see the different steps here going on. It takes sometimes a little bit of time, depending on the request, depending on the ability for the AI to figure it right away or having to try a different way. And so here it's still working. So it has found different documents. It's getting the amounts. Yeah. Okay, so that's a very good question that I see right now about AI and training. So this is a very important point. So none of the AI features that are on Concord, none of this is indeed trained to used to train your data is not used for these to train AI models. However, I want to be very clear. If you use Claude, if you use ChatGPT, they are the one here using your data. So they're getting data from Concord on your ChatGPT, on your Claude. Therefore, you need to check with the policy you have in place with them. You need to make sure if you are in a zero data retention policy with them that it's been respected. So if you are on a free account on ChatGPT and you're plugging the MCP to Concord, then you're basically sending Concord data to the AI. And in that case, they might use your data to train. So this is really about the way you use ChatGPT and Claude, and you need to check with your company the policy here.
Absolutely. We'll get to the questions in a second. I just want to highlight it did a pretty good job. These aren't real contracts. This is just using some data that we have in our demo account. But what it's done is it's gone in and it's pulled out all of these different data points from my contracts. And it basically answered the prompt. Just as a reminder, the prompt was, which contracts are renewing next year? Give me a table with the amounts. It's giving me the renewal dates with the amounts, and it's even created a total for me here in the table. So it's quite powerful. You can do a lot with an MCP. I think Matt will talk more about kind of the next vision for the MCP, some other things that we're going to be working on with the AI. Do you want to? There's a lot of questions here, Matt. Should we get to some of the questions?
Let's move forward because we have about 10 minutes left. We can take some of the questions at the end. I see a lot of questions about also how to get access. So let's dive right away into. So first of all, everything that we showed you today is available right now. I'll get back to how to get access to it, a question about upgrade, pricing, etc. We'll get into this in a second. What I just want to immediately tell you about is what's coming next. Everything that we showed you today is available right now, and there's a lot of more things that are coming. So this is just what is about to get released in this winter. So winter is basically between December and March. And so what are we adding? First of all, we're going to add the ability for you to automatically extract any data that you want in a custom property. So you're going to be able to create a custom property and tell the AI what you want in there, and the AI will be able to do it for you. Today, we already have data extraction on Concord. It's limited to a few fields. In the future, you will have the ability to decide what are the fields, how you want the data to be extracted, what is its format, etc. So it's a very cool experience that we're going to build, and it's going to be entirely chat-based. You're going to be able just to discuss with the AI, and the AI will guide you. We'll be able to show you more on this probably by the end of the year to show what we're building. Another thing that we'll be adding also this winter is AI agents. You're going to be able to basically create brand new agents on Concord, something very easy to do, chat-based. And for instance, you're going to be able to create an NDA playbook. So to make sure that any NDA that is added to Concord respect the playbook that you have. There is no limit to what you can create here when it comes to agents. This is a very exciting feature we've been also building in the background for quite a while. This will be released this winter. We have a lot of other enhancements coming to Copilot. There is more enhancement coming to reports. You're going to be able soon to share reports on Concord with your team. You're going to be able to add even more data points there regarding activity, events, users. And we also just going to also streamline a lot of things when it comes to the settings. The settings are going to be easier to understand. You're going to have way more control around notifications. You're going to have more control around your SSO. There's a lot of things like this that we are going to streamline. So yeah, what you saw today is just the beginning. We have a lot more things coming. So now let's immediately talk about how do you get access to Concord Horizon. So first of all, the classic experience is not going anywhere. If you are today on the classic experience, it's still there. It will be maintained. And if you upgrade to Horizon, you can still go back to the foundation, to the classic experience in just one click and go back to Horizon whenever we want. So if you're missing something, if you like the interface better before, you can always go back. When it comes to Horizon, yes, it does require an upgrade. We're adding all of these new features for AI, etc. And so the pricing is, as always, on our website. We're transparent on this, so you can check what it costs today. It's a very classic structure, the platform fee and the price per user. Everything is on the website. Something that I want to mention. We obviously are very grateful to all the existing customers that have helped us be who we are today and build this platform. And so we are offering early access discount to all the existing customers we have today that are already on Concord on the classic experience. And so just simply contact your CSM or contact us at support@Concord app, and we can tell you more here about what we can offer. On these upgrades, this includes everything that we talked about today. So you get access to the new experience, all the AI capabilities, and the coming releases. There is no limitation as of today when it comes to the number of requests you can make, etc. for AI. So we try to just keep it super simple for you. So yeah, but more detail on the pricing page on the website and obviously with your CSM.
Great. I think that's everything. Do we want to do any Q&A or anything else there?
Yeah, absolutely. We have 5 more minutes.
Sure.
Let me have a few questions.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I have a question here, or maybe let me just rephrase, right? Because you, Matt, I guess, answered a lot of these questions about, what is the release date for the MCP? Everything that we showed, basically, to rephrase what Matt said, if we're talking about the tools that are available, everything that he showed is available now with some coming out, but there are additional costs. Reach out to us. But for you guys, are the features only available to the licensed users? I guess talking about, viewers versus creators. Could you talk more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, it depends on which feature. So typically a viewer that has access to the inbox will be able to have access to the new Horizon inbox, obviously. When it comes to Copilot features, for instance, this is not available for viewers. You require an actual license for this one. So think about it in a simple way. If it's just about viewing something, the viewers have access to it. If it's about doing something, the viewers won't.
Excellent. Great. Now, quick question here. People are asking if we integrate with Spellbook. Could you speak to that?
Not natively, but if the question is about the MCP, we would have to check if Spellbook has an MCP, and therefore it could be able to connect through a ChatGPT. One of the cool things about MCP that I should maybe mention is we just showed you a simple questions about, hey, go check on Concord and give me these results. But something really powerful you can do in MCP is you can connect on your ChatGPT several MCPs. So for instance, I have my ChatGPT connected to Concord, connected to my email, and connected to HubSpot, which is our CRM. And so I'm able basically to tell the AI, hey, go check the last document that was signed with a customer on Concord. Please update the record on HubSpot and then send an email to my CFO about it. And so that is the type of thing that you can do today already with MCPs. And so we don't have a direct integration with Spellbook, but through the MCP, if Spellbook has an MCP, it's possible.
Excellent. And then now we have some feature-specific questions, which I might actually say reach out to us. We'll put Zach and Matt's email out there. Also, you also have the email and support at concord.app. If you don't know who to reach out to someone. Let us be responsible for putting you in the right place. Let us do that work for you. But one last question for you guys. Somebody has asked just recently, is there a trial available to test the new system? Or how would you, approach that, getting someone to see it, access it, and so on?
Not at the moment. So we're basically right now in an early access phase for a lot of customers that have been working with us on this release. But it's probably something that will be available at later time as we keep putting people on the new system.
Excellent. So that is it for all the questions. Again, I know we have some feature specific ones, which we will reach out to you offline. And again, if there are questions that you didn't ask and you wanted to get to, reach out to us. But as far as that, Matt and Zach, that is all of the questions that we have for you guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for your time today. I hope that you are at least as excited as we are when it comes to Concord Horizon. It's been a long time coming for us. I want to thank everyone in our company that has been working hard to get this. This is really a brand new experience. We're entirely rethinking Concord. And once again, we've done this with 10 years of experience and feedback to you. So thank you to all of you who have been pushing us for 10 years, that have been pointing out every single problems or frustration you had with Concord. We've really addressed a lot of this in this new version, and we'll keep iterating more and more and more. I think you should see the pace of new feature and new release on Concord accelerating, that we have built all of these foundational blocks. As always, we're very transparent. You have the Concord public roadmap about everything coming on the website, and you also have the detailed changelog on everything that has been released. So if you have any questions about what's coming in the future, you can also check the website. Thank you all for your time. It was really nice to have you today. And don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions.